and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand.
Good morning and welcome to WLES. It's Friday, 13. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jacob. My co-anchor today is Sienna.
Good morning, students and staff of Laytonville Elementary.
Please stand and face the flag for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's get started with announcing birthdays. Sienna, please tell us whom we should be wishing a happy birthday to.
We have no student or staff birthdays to announce today, so instead, we will look ahead to a birthday that we will celebrate with a national holiday later this month. On Monday, January 21st, we will observe the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., the most famous leader of the U.S. Civil Rights Movement. The website biography.com tells us that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and social activist who led the civil rights movement in the United States from the mid-1950s until his death by assassination in 1968. Dr. King's famous speech is his I Have a Dream speech. We have some pictures here to share. One is of Martin Luther King Jr. with his son and daughter. The second picture shows him waving to the participants in the Civil Rights Movement's March on Washington. It was during this march at the Lincoln Memorial that Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech on August 28, 1963. This speech is a living piece of our American history. Mrs. Young strongly encourages you to ask your parents to help you search the internet for an audio recording of the speech. Happy birthday, Dr. King. Now we turn to our Book of the Week segment.
Our Book of the Week recommendation today comes from Nicholas Ware in 5th grade. Nick highly recommends the book Nerds. Book 2, M is for Mama's Boy by Michael Buckley. Nick says that he should really buy his own copy of the book because he just keeps on checking it out over and over and over again, and who could blame him? Nick has shared a little bit about the amazing characters in this book and their unique superpowers. There is Jackson, whose braces give him bionic powers. Then you have Duncan Dewey, who eats paste and uses it to his advantage. Matilda has asthma inhalers that let her fly. Ruby has allergies that allow her to detect danger and dishonesty. There's also Flint, who reaches hyperspeeds when he gets hyperactive. If you want to find out more about the characters in this book, then you will have to check out Nerds. Book 2, M is for Mama's Boy by Michael Buckley. Look for it in the fiction section of our media center under call number FBUC. Now we turn to Sienna for the next part of our show, the Mapping the News segment.
The source of our information for today's Mapping the News segment is from a News Currents Read to Know article titled, The Happiest Places on Earth. Apparently, if we want to travel to the happiest place on Earth, we will have to go to Denmark. 5th graders Michael, Ethan R., and Connor have prepared the Google Earth footage today that will show us how to get from Laytonville Elementary to Denmark. Thank you, Michael, Ethan R., and Connor for being contributing producers for WLES. According to a new World Happiness Report from the United Nations, Denmark is the happiest place on Earth. Finland, Norway, the Netherlands, and Canada were the other 4 countries that make up the top 5 happiest countries in the world. The other countries in the top 10 were Switzerland, Sweden, New Zealand, Australia, and Ireland. The United States just barely missing the top 10, coming in 11th. The UN is an international group made up of most countries in the world. Their goal is to promote peace, security, and cooperation between countries. Last year was the first year they published the World Happiness Report. This report can tell us a lot about what makes some countries happier than others. In general, richer countries are happier than poorer countries. But there is more to being happy than just having a lot of money. Some of the world's richest countries were not in the top 10 of the World's Happiness Report. Having good health is also very important to happiness too. The report also tells us that being a good person and having a strong moral code makes people happier. Two big ideas that have a lot to do with being happy are equality and freedom. People are happier when they have a lot of freedom to make choices with their lives. They are also happier when they feel like they have the same opportunities as everyone else. Well, that's all for me on happiness this morning. Now back to Jacob.
Now we turn to our Laytonville Elementary news, our morning announcements. Tomorrow we have a fundraiser at breakfast at the fire department. And also, today's lunch menu is cheese or pepperoni pizza or spicy chicken patty sandwich with seasoned potatoes. That brings us to the conclusion of our broadcast. Thank you for joining us today. From all of us here at WLES, be safe, be kind, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything's still